Before I start this episode, I want to let you guys know, my LED lights are broken. I don't know. So throughout it, you're going to see them turn on and off. Like right now, they're off. And by the time I finish this, they're on. So that's going to happen a lot. So I'm sorry. My friends come to me a lot for advice just about business and lifestyle because I have really dove down what I want, and I've really gotten in touch with what is a mental game and what is real. But the one thing they've never asked me about, and I've never really answered their question on it because I've never been asked this, and I thought about it, is burnout. Burning out is real. I mean, you burn out on everything. I mean, you can burn out on your job, burn out going to the gym, burn out doing your favorite hobbies, burn out going to school. Everything you can burn out on. And it's just natural. It's life. It's burnout because we have the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And the human brain craves diversity in our lives. I mean, if you live the same life every day, you're going to burn out. If you get up at 6 a.m., have your coffee, go to the gym, eat breakfast, be at work by 9, come home at 5, eat dinner, go to bed at 8, do it again tomorrow. If you do that, you're going to burn out after doing that for 40 to 50 years. And even if you don't do that, even if you're like me and you own a business, I still burn out. There's days I burn out. So how do I get over burnout? Well, this is the thing. A lot of people come to me and they're like, wow, man, I admire your drive. I'm like, thanks. Thanks a ton for that. But the one thing they say, I never correct them on it because there's no need to. It just sounds snotty. But when people say, I admire your motivation. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm motivated. And then they'll be like, every day you're motivated to get up and do it again. And I'm like, yeah, but no, that's not the truth. If I had to put 2 words on the label of being a successful entrepreneur, and I've learned these words from other very, very much more successful people than me, like Warren Buffett, much more. He's a billionaire. I am not. Anyways, if I had to put it in 2 words, it would be consistent discipline. Warren Buffett said those words, and when I heard them, it changed because for years I didn't know why I would still get up and do it, even on days I was so incredibly burnt out. And I mean, I burn out on everything. Like, I love going to the gym. I burn out on that. There's days I do not want to go. Like today, to be honest, I don't really want to go to the gym. But guess what? After I'm done with this video, I'm going to put it in the computer, edit it, post it, and go to the gym. Because I have consistent discipline. If you don't know what consistent discipline means, well, we can break it down. What does consistency mean? Conformity in the application of something, typically that which is necessary for the sake of logic, accuracy, or fairness. Consistency. To make it even more basic, consistent means every day, every hour, every second. So what is consistent in your life? For me, it is consistent that when I wake up, I take a shower, or when I go to bed, I brush and floss my teeth. I'm also consistent in a lot of other things. So for instance, every day I check my email. If I were to open my email right now, it would say 6. Why do I know that? Because I go through my email, I clear out everything I don't need, and I keep things in my inbox that I'm currently working on. So for instance, right now, I have 3 invoices that are sent out to my clients that have not been paid yet. So I have those there and they say pending. And until that's paid, that stays there. Once they're paid, I'm going to put it and move it down into a little box down on the bottom. The other 3 things are 2 emails I sent to clients waiting for a reply on. And the last one is an email from my school about my parking pass. Those are my 6 things that I need to have in my face at all times because I always have my email open. That is my main source of communication, minus this guy. But that is always on me. So it's like, that is very consistent. I also check all of my bank accounts every day. I have 3 personal bank accounts and two business bank accounts. A total of 5. 5 bank accounts. 5. So like, I check those every day. Why? It's consistent. Even if there's a day where there's no in or out cash, still check it. So consistency comes with a habit, right? Now, forming a habit takes a while. Some people say it takes 18 days. Some people it takes 66 days. Some people says it takes 254 days. There's a lot of different ranges of what people say takes to make a habit. I believe it takes 4 weeks. So it takes a month of doing a thing every day for it to be a habit. A habit forms from consistency. A good habit can change everything. So if you can make good habits, so for me, I get up every day, I make my bed, I take a shower, I make breakfast, I do my work, I check my email, check my accounts, do all my client work, respond to clients, continue to grow, post videos, all the things I do every day, no matter what, I do them consistently because I made the habit. So I still burn out, but I beat burnout because of consistency. Now, let's look at the back half of this. Consistent discipline. What does discipline mean? The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. That's the definition of discipline. Now, in our talk of it, of consistent discipline, what we are saying is we are being consistent, but doing it while being disciplined. Being disciplined is very important when it comes to doing what I'm doing. There is no protection. There's no protection. There's no structure. And doing what I'm doing, it feels like I'm trying to build a house on top of two 2x4s that are wobbling, right? And the reason why this is so insecure and unsafe is because there's no job security per se. So for instance, if I make a mistake, it falls on me. I make a huge mistake. If I make a giant mistake, I'm the one that falls. I'm the one that crumbles. I'm the one that it hurts my business, so it hurts me. Let's use my parents as an example. I'm not sure exactly how many employees we have, maybe like 30. Let's say one of the 30 employees is working a shift. And let's say a person walks in and this employee says something incredibly rude to this customer, to the point where the customer gets super upset and they instantly leave. They leave a bad review and they start to trash us all over the internet. Well, that happening causes us to lose 500 customers, okay? Who really got hurt there? Well, this is what is going to happen. My dad is going to be like, what the heck? He's going to go to the employee that did this, talk to them, and either A, fire them, or B, discipline them. But let's just say he fires them. The worst thing that happened to that employee is they got fired. They lost a job. Oh no, they go find a new job. My dad just lost 500 customers. His reputation just got fractured. The store looks worse than it was before. And my dad did nothing wrong. So this is why being disciplined when you're doing what I'm doing is so important. Because let's say I do that. Let's say, because right now I'm the only person that works for me. Let's say I do the same thing that employee did. I ruin everything for myself and my entire future. I can't necessarily just go and find a new business. In theory, yes, I can go and start a new one, but my reputation doesn't leave with the previous business. This employee, when he goes to find a new job, sure, he can't tell his new employer that they could call my dad and be like, hey, is this guy good? Because obviously my dad is going to say no. But this employee can go find another employer fairly easy. Pretty easier than I could go and create a new business once my reputation is tarnished. So that's what I mean when I say building a business like this. So what I mean whenever I say building a business like this feels like I'm trying to build a house on two 2x4s that aren't stable, it's because of that, okay? So now to go back to why discipline is important and consistent discipline is because you have to be disciplined in your consistency. So let's say every day I get up and the first thing I do is I crack open a beer. That's consistent. Is it disciplined? Not really. Or let's say the first thing I do whenever I wake up is I roll over, I open my phone, and I go to a website I shouldn't do. Not gonna say what it is, but let's just say that. That's consistent. Is it discipline? Not really. So in the more of the business world, let's say when I'm being consistent, my discipline is out the window. I'm consistent every day, but it's all over the place. Or on a different field, my consistency isn't all that consistent. It's every other day, it's every 3 days. So after talking about that, if it's still a little confusing, because it is, I wrote down or typed up a bunch of little bullet points of what consistent discipline means that you can write down if you want. So let's look at consistency again, okay? Rules don't change randomly. What's acceptable today should be the exact same tomorrow, and what's unacceptable today should also be unacceptable tomorrow. If a behavior has a consequence, that consequence will happen every single time. It's not just gonna be occasional. So if I go rob a bank today, it's gonna have the same consequence it's gonna have tomorrow. And the biggest thing is consistency builds trust in yourself. It builds trust in yourself. If I can run a mile today, tomorrow, if I go to run a mile, I'm gonna say, hey, I know I can do this. I did it yesterday. Or if I made $100 today, tomorrow, I can make $100. I did it yesterday. Consistency builds trust in yourself, but then it also builds it with others. If others can see that you are consistent, which I am, people see that in me, and it builds trust and predictability. They know that what I'm going to do every day, they know that I'm going to get it done, and they understand what I'm doing, and they're not going to be confused or thrown off by it. So if and when I hire employees, or if and when I have kids, all these things, being consistent is going to allow them to trust and predict that I'm not just going to be an oddball, right? I'm not just going to go out of my way to do something crazy because I'm being consistent every day. Now, discipline sometimes is taken the wrong way. A lot of people think of discipline as like a punishment. Well, yes, that is a way of saying it. Like if you discipline your child, that's a way of punishment, I guess. But I feel like it shouldn't be seen that way. I feel like discipline can be seen as two ways. The first way is the punishment, but I think it should be more of a teaching. I don't think discipline should be seen as punishing. I think discipline should be teaching your student, child, employee, whatever it is. I think discipline should be teaching them. I think if they do something wrong, the discipline should be teaching them, hey, that is wrong. Now, discipline can also be the outcome of being disciplined. So if you are a disciplined person, high chances you are disciplined because you were disciplined, if that makes sense. So discipline should be seen as a guidance and a teaching, and then being disciplined is the result of being disciplined. Does that make sense? A lot of discipline, but that's what I see it as, okay? Being disciplined, you need to set the expectations for yourself. So whenever I decided to go down this route of being consistently disciplined, I set expectations for myself. So for instance, I do not touch my phone in the morning until I am ready for the day. I do not touch my phone until I've gotten up, I've showered, I've eaten breakfast, I've communicated with my family. My phone is not my number one priority. A lot of people, that's the first thing they do. They wake up, they roll over, they open their phone. That is something I decided I do not want. I do not want my phone to be the first thing I do when I wake up. And that can be on a whole new realm. Let's say you're still in high school. I want you, if you're still, just in school in general, high school, college, I don't care. School in general, you're going to have homework, correct? I think something everyone should try, and I do this and it helps, but when I'm doing homework, I don't even have my phone on my desk. My phone is across the room. My phone is nowhere to be found because not having your phone in your hands, that's creating discipline. Now, being disciplined makes more sense when you can explain why you're doing it. So, for example, let's say for some reason my consistent discipline is in the morning, I do 20 jumping jacks. Why? Oh, it gets the blood flowing, wakes me up, gets me started for the day. Perfect. But let's say there's something in your life that you do consistently and you do it disciplined, but you don't have an explanation why you do it. If that's the case, you're not going to understand why you're doing it. You're not going to do it every day, most likely. You're most likely not going to give it your all. And realistically, it's probably not that great if you can't explain why it's good for you and why it's helping you. So to wrap up all of that, consistent discipline is good because why? It builds respect and trust in yourself and allows others to respect and trust you. It encourages long-term behavioral change. If you start today, a year from right now, you're going to be a completely different person. And I wish I had the proof, but a year ago today, I was a whole new person than I am right now. And honestly, right now, I am such a better person because of that. Because I found consistent discipline. I changed who I am for the better. I found the faults in my day-to-day life and I changed it. I found what I need to do every day to be better. I found how I can be disciplined every day to be better. And doing all that a year ago, I am a new man. I am a better man. I am healthier physically and emotionally. I am more emotionally mature. I am in a way better place financially. I'm a million times smarter. I'm more independent. Everything that I did over the past year has made me 1,000 times better because I had consistent discipline. Consistent discipline, it reduces confusion. It reduces the feeling of being lost. Because if you get up every day and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Guess I'm just going to lay around all day. I'm going to sleep until 2 p.m. and then get up later and, I don't know, maybe take a shower. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because everyone has those days. I had those days where you just feel lost. You don't know what to do. Well, guess what? Fall back on your consistent discipline. So if you run a mile every day, well, there you go. That's one thing to do. Check. I make my bed every day. The first thing I do, I get up, make my bed. Check. I take a shower. Check. Wash my face. Check. Eat Eat breakfast, check. Go to the gym, check. Do my work, check. Before I know it, it's the end of the day. And guess what? I was so productive because of my consistent discipline. Lastly, it strengthens habits and resilience. A habit is so important. A good habit is so important. And doing this is going to strengthen those good habits and hopefully extinguish the bad ones. Because a good habit can make everything and a bad habit can destroy anything. A good habit can make anything and a bad habit can destroy everything. And having consistent discipline can strengthen those habits to where you will be an unstoppable force. So to full circle back to burnout, I burn out all the time. At least once a week. I have a day where I'm burned out. And I'm just like, I don't got it in me. But do you know why I keep going and why I still move the needle 1% every day? Consistent discipline.